Welcome to Sips and Side Quest, a fantasy-inspired podcast series where we try new drinks and tell old stories. I'm your host, Darren.
And I'm your co-host, Troy. We're going crazy today for episode 3. We want to show you that we care about you guys. We want to make sure you're taking care of yourselves, and we want to share some ways that we take care of ourselves. Before we can get into any of that caring nonsense that I was just talking about, Darren's going to give us the episode rundown. What's going on?
I'm going to level with you. I thought it was episode 4. This is a really good drink, but we're going to start off, speaking of, with our Sips segment, where we explore new drinks. Then we're rolling right into Tavern Tales.
Ooh.
Off the rails Tavern Tales. Okay. Let's get into it. Troy, what are you sipping on today? I thought you'd never ask.
I had a feeling you were going to ask. Okay, today I have Southern Terminus is the name of it. It is a Mexican lager out of Nocterra Brewing Company in Powell, Ohio. First lager on the show. First anything that's not an ale for me on the show. Let's have a round of applause for that.
I'm proud of you.
ABV is only 5%, so nothing crazy. On par with a White Claw, basically. I'm feeling it, though. Maybe because I'm on I just opened my 6th here already, but that's okay. Hops that are in this one, I'm going to share those. Hallertau, Saaz, and flaked corn. If that means anything to any of you out there, I hope you gain enjoyment from that. I read something about the first 2 hops. They're part of the 4 noble hops. I wish I knew what noble hops were, but it sounds interesting.
Shout out to Noble for having great hops.
Yeah, the 4 noble hops. Anyway, some quick facts about this one. This is a tribute to Mexican adjunct lagers. Adjunct? I don't know how to say that word. But those Mexican adjunct lagers, they're brewed with flaked maize, which is basically the same thing as flaked corn, which is in this one. All that means is that the corn, it gets steamed and then flattened into flakes, and they add that into the brew. It's used to lighten the beer's body. Flaked corn actually also very common in distilling. Particularly, it's used for creating bourbon-style whiskey, something I didn't know. But they do that for this beer as well. Some of you may be wondering, what is this adjunct lager? Why is he saying the word incorrectly? I can't tell you what the pronunciation is, but I will tell you what it is. Basically, it's just a brew that instead of using malted barley, which is like the common sort of element of a lot of brews, instead of using that, they replace it with something else. In this case, it's flaked corn, but some other examples would be like wheat, rice, rye, oats. Those are all different kind of beers that you will probably see out and about. There is some negative perception regarding adjunct lagers, just because barley is just so common. People think this is kind of inferior, but I gotta say, it's not too bad. And I've even had some oat ales that I liked a lot on this show, even the brown oat ale from episode 1. So maybe worth giving a try. You know, don't judge a book by its cover. This one specifically, the Southern Terminus, it is named after the southernmost point of the Pacific Crest Trail. That is a trail that goes from the Mexican border all the way up to the Canadian border. Total of 2,653 miles on that thing. So this is going to be the one near the Mexican border. Obviously, it's a Mexican lager. Nocterra, pretty cool with their naming schemes. It's usually a lot to do with different hiking activities or points of interest and things like that. So definitely liked that there. Some personal thoughts on the drink real quick. It's very light and refreshing. There's no lime included with this, which I've had some Mexican lagers before and they usually are like with lime. This one is just straight up Mexican lager. It's interesting. I think it could do with some lime. Don't have any with me today, unfortunately. It's definitely a warm weather beer. It's very crisp. It's very refreshing. Reminds me of Pilsners, kind of. Overall rating, probably a 6.5 out of 10. It's not a bad beer, but I'm not super impressed with it either. Probably wouldn't get this one again. More so would lean towards something that has lime with it, to be honest. So that's what I got today. Darren, any comments, questions, concerns?
What the hell's flaked corn?
I told you, it's corn. You take corn kernels, you steam them, and then you flatten them into flakes.
I understand. Just I've heard of corn flakes, but
no, not the cereal, right? That's a different thing.
Just for emphasis, I heard you. Just for emphasis, but
okay.
I do like the name though. Southern Terminus. Sounds like Southern Terminator, which is far cooler than a hiking trail.
I mean, that's debatable. The Pacific Crest Trail is pretty insane. What do you know about the Pacific Crest Trail? I don't know much, but I saw some facts today that blew my mind.
I know whatever you're about to tell me.
Okay. It spans from 100 feet above sea level all the way up to 13,000 feet above sea level, and the overall elevation gain is almost 500,000.
We don't have that in Ohio.
No, we don't. So, yeah, it's pretty insane. And like I said, it goes all the way from Mexico to Canada. So,
man, I went out to Colorado, and I want to say there was an elevation gain of like 2,000 on the trail, but it was like a switchback. It was in like a really short, like maybe like 20-25 minute window. That was absolutely brutal. So I can't imagine that level.
Yeah, I mean, it's over like months, right? Not like
months.
I would assume so. It's how many miles did I say? Like almost 3,000. It's going to take you some time. How many miles do you think you could cover in a day hiking, especially with elevation gains like that?
So, I mean, you got to figure walking a mile on like flat ground is probably about 20, and then we'll say like half an hour, easy pace with like the difficult gains. So, like 2 miles an hour, maybe realistically, you could be hiking for like 12 hours, assuming like you're resting for a good portion of it, need to eat, need to sleep as well. So, like 24 miles a day. So, we'll say like 100 every like 4 days. So yeah, months.
Months.
I did the math. Months.
100 every 4 days would be 1,000 every 40 days, and it's like 2,600 something. So
that's what I said.
At least like 3 months. So anyway, yeah, that's what I got. Darren, you were telling me a little bit about yours. Something about some crazy percentage drink you got going on. What's
So it doesn't necessarily need to be made that way, but in the spirit of the drink, it is made that way. I am drinking a cocktail, not an actual medical item, a painkiller.
What a name.
Yeah, pretty iconic. I feel like most people have at least heard of it or tried it. So it consists of an aged rum, pineapple juice, orange juice, and cream of coconut. A lot of people use like Coco Real. So there's no real guidelines on type of rum to use for this, but a bit of history on where it is, and we can kind of like piece it together. So it was created back in the 1970s, so relatively recent as far as like cocktail history goes, by Daphne Henderson at the Soggy Dollar Bar in the Virgin Islands. Not sure if British or US. Virgin Islands. So the whole shtick was there was no dock on the beach, so guests had to disembark directly into shallow water, which left them with wet dollar bills, which is the name of the bar, Soggy Dollar Bar. So
Soggy Dollar Bar.
The history gets very weird after this. So, most people, I think, know this with Pusser's rum, which is a Demarara rum, which comes out of the country of Guyana. This is where things get weird. So, this was created in the 1970s. It wasn't made with Pusser's rum because Pusser's rum was discontinued in 1970. And it was bought back by someone else. at the end of the 70s, November 1979. So it wasn't made with that rum. It was likely made with like a cruisin' rum or something, but this is where things get really shitty. So Pusser's Rum, they couldn't get the recipe, but they took the idea of the drink, the different components. 1989, they filed a U.S. trademark for the drink. There was a bar in 2011 that was making painkillers, like a tiki bar in New York, and they sent a cease and desist letter. Pusser's Rum did, and they had to change their name and everything. So a lot of bartenders very sour on Pusser's Rum. I didn't know this until after. I am not. Let me be clear. I am not drinking Pusser's Rum in this, and I probably won't buy Pusser's Rum knowing that.
Wow.
I'm drinking Smith & Cross Jamaican rum, which I'm drinking the overproof rum. It's 57%, so kind of gnarly.
Jamaica, 57%. I just want to highlight, not 57 proof. This thing is 57%. And you said it tastes good, actually, didn't you?
Yeah, because I feel like for a lot of drinks, you got to try the individual components. So
yeah.
I would drink it on its own, but it definitely packs a punch. So I do have a different Demarra rum, so I could technically make it with that, but where's the fun in that? I mean, if you're going to have a bunch of juice in a cocktail, you better use something that's super overproof.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, as long as you're not using Pusser's Rum, right?
Evidently. We hate those guys. So, last component, I guess, I'm sure you know what, we probably got our first comment with people yelling at me for this. Important component of the drink as well, freshly grated nutmeg across the top. That's what helps distinguish.
People are going to yell at you about that? That sounds great.
They're going to yell because I didn't mention it, right?
Ah.
So,
understood.
yes, I did put some on there. Not freshly grated, but nutmeg nonetheless. So, I would give this drink... I feel like it's difficult to hit perfection. I don't know if I could give the drink a 10, but I would say probably a 9.5 out of 10. It is as close as they come. And, I mean, to have 2 ounces of alcohol in your, under 5 ounce drink, that's a good look.
How much of that rating is the rum itself?
Well, I've been drinking it all week, so I've been using different rums to do so, and this is the one that I like. But okay. I keep coming back to it, so I mean, maybe that speaks to it.
Would you give the same score to the same drink with a lesser rum?
Rums are just so distinctly different. I mean, let's do a little walk down rum lane. So, okay. Appleton Estate is probably my favorite rum. I would maybe even give it a 10 out of 10 with Appleton. I have not had it yet. I am currently out of the Appleton. I was recommended a Demarra rum from our pilot friend, and so he said El Dorado is what he drinks, and I've had El Dorado as well whenever I've traveled in the Caribbean. It is good. I consider it to be a little bit more one note. I like the Jamaican rums. This is definitely my first Smith & Cross interaction. I would probably get it again. I think the drink could be better with a different... The rums are just so distinctly different that I think the drink could be worse or better depending on what you choose.
Okay. That was a great answer.
Yeah, a little rum history for you. But any thoughts on that? I mean, other than we don't like pussers?
I'm thinking of the ingredients. I love rum as well. I think I actually these days prefer rum over whiskey. That being said, I don't drink a lot of liquor or cocktails in general, so I'm pretty inexperienced with the different types and the different brands, I guess you could say, but it sounds delicious. You said there's cream of coconut in there?
Yeah, and I have no good analog to it. I mean, it's literally just liquid coconut. But it's got more of a viscosity, and that's where the cream comes in. Think like watered down icing almost.
Okay, I like icing. Maybe not a watered down version, but
I think you'd like this drink.
I think I would. I think I
Not
would.
not to go too much into the whiskey rum situation, but Antigua, Caribbean country, has their own rum. I believe it's called English Harbor. What's really interesting is they age their rum in whiskey barrels, so it gets like a bit of like a smoky, like whiskey quality to it. And I think that's a really good like middle ground for people that maybe don't drink rum. Good luck finding it, but that was that was something else I wanted to bring up. In Ohio, it is near impossible to get bottles that are super interesting because we have state-controlled liquor, and so the prices we pay are better than what you pay anywhere else in the country. However, it is difficult to get our hands on some of the more exclusive bottles because of that reason.
So you tell me about this amazing rum that has smoky whiskey-like tendencies, and then can't even get it. Basically.
Yeah, you'd probably have to like physically go there. You might be able to get it at like a duty-free. I looked at it. I was trying to find it at the I don't know, some Florida airport. At their duty free, and I couldn't find it. So
I wonder if they had it in that place we walked in accidentally in Tennessee.
Oh. There's always a chance.
Oh, that was so funny. Yeah, if anybody ever listens to this, Darren took us. We were trying to go into a brewery, but the doors were confusing, and he walked us into a liquor store that was like right next door, and we had to commit to it. So we like looked at drinks for like 5 minutes before walking out. We were the only ones in there. It was probably pretty obvious we weren't meant to be in there, but
you gotta commit, because if you just go in and turn around, like, you've admitted defeat, and I'm not going that route. Absolutely not.
Yeah, and then we were even making some comments like, "Oh, maybe we'll come back." We didn't go back.
That's not true. We came back. We just went in the right door the next time.
Yeah, that's true.
Shout out to Knoxville. Everything closes at 11. So if you like to go to bed early, Knoxville is your city.
Yeah, that was really weird to me. That's probably one of the reasons I don't like Knoxville that much, just because I'm pretty accustomed here in our city to things being open a little later, at least. You can go get fried chicken until like 2 or 3 a.m. here. Like good fried chicken.
And the bars are open later. Not like I'm like actively trying to go around bar hopping normally, but like for their bars, I think almost all of them closed at 10.
Yeah, that was weird.
I'll tell you what though, of the breweries we went to down there, feel free to correct us on the pronunciation. It's spelled Xul. I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be Shul. Could be Zul. It was like alien ship.
Zul.
But
Zul.
It was pretty cool overall, I'd have to say. All right, let's bring it around. We've had the sips, and what goes with sips? Sandwiches. Tavern tales. So today, we're not going to get very deep. We're not going to get very philosophical. We're just going to keep it very real. Troy, what's your self-care? What do you do to take care of yourself?
Myself.
Yeah, there's plenty of options.
Yeah, there's a lot to talk about here, and it honestly might end up getting a little deep. Who knows? There's a lot of answers you can give to this question. I'm going to start out by talking about what I'm doing currently to try and take care of myself, which the most recent journey I've embarked on is to drink more water, which is such a basic one, and it's something everybody should be doing, or at least strive to be doing. But I'm a big, I don't know if I'd describe myself as a big tap water guy, but it's definitely something. I've just been drinking tap water for years, Bottled water is not expensive, but it's annoying to carry around and to get into the house and things like that, and it's... I know they do the recycling and stuff, but it's a lot of trash, on the consumer end, at the very least. And so I never did that, and, there was a point where I was brewing my own cold brew coffee, and so I bought a purifier that goes on the faucet for that, and so I was drinking purified for a little bit. But for the most part, it's been tap water for a long time. And I bring that up only to say that drinking an adequate amount of water is much tougher to do when you're drinking tap water because the taste is not that good. Now, it's something I've been used to for a long time, but it's something I've noticed recently in my pursuit of higher level of water consumption is the taste makes a difference, right? So I started out drinking, we just had bottles of water around the house, and I don't even remember why I chose to drink bottled water instead of tap, but just within recent weeks, I just did that for a whole day, and I felt much better. And it's because the bottled water tasted better, so it motivated me, even if subconsciously, to drink more water because I enjoyed the taste, right? And so from that spurred this idea of, maybe I'm not like getting adequately hydrated, right? So I bought one of those pitchers, it's like a Brita purification filter pitcher, and I've been drinking nothing but that, and I've been monitoring my consumption a lot more, and if I had to give a percentage to it, I couldn't give you a percentage. That's too quick. I'm 6 beers in here. I can't do that math. But I will say I was drinking probably like less than 2 liters a day, and now I'm drinking like 3+. So
what's that in freedom units?
Yeah, liter. Oh, ounces. Oh, a liter is dang.
I mean, I can tell you how many ounces are in a gallon, but
how many ounces are in a liter? Wait, hold on. Genuinely, I don't know. Wait.
Absolutely in shambles.
Wait. Let me get a quick Google here. I'm going to type in ounces per liter. We'll figure it out. 33 ounces per liter. So I was drinking.
Okay, sure.
I was drinking less than like 66 a day, and now I'm drinking closer to 100. So I guess like an increase of like 33%. We'll do the math.
Your water intake varies based on like your own health factors. 64 2 liters might be enough for some people, whereas some people, they might need closer to like 128. They might need like 4 liters a day. It just kind of varies. As long as it's straw yellow whenever you go to the bathroom, that's what you're looking for.
Okay. Yeah, you're right about that. Yeah, it definitely varies. I will say less than 64 for me, for my size and things like that. Under consumption, honestly. And I've noticed recently, one of the main components of being adequately hydrated is you get that energy boost. And it's something I've definitely noticed. I'm definitely a lot less tired. I have more energy to do things. And I just feel better overall. And that was simply by switching to purified water, just so that I enjoy the taste more, so that I subconsciously reach for the bottle of water a little more often. So that's the main thing I've been doing recently as far as self-care. Some other practices that I employ and have been, recently, I would say within the past 6 months to a year, is choosing myself in certain situations over, things that may seem important, but in the grand scheme of things are not more important than myself and my well-being. An example of which would be like my job, right? Jobs are important, careers are important, obviously. That's your source of income. That's how you support yourself and your family and become successful in life financially. But there's certain times where you kind of just need to choose yourself. An example I'll give, I'm a driver, basically a truck driver, a delivery driver. And there will be certain situations where I want to get to my stops by a certain time because I know it helps them out. And I'm not required to be there at a certain specific time, but sometimes I want to get there early because I know that it makes their day easier. But there's some times where, I'll need like a bathroom break, or I'll need just to really accomplish something in the morning or something like that. And in situations like that, instead of feeling bad that I'm going to be getting to the stop a little later than normal and like potentially screwing over these other people, which it's not really screwing over, it's just a little less convenient for them. I have to choose myself, and instead of damaging my body by like holding in, fluids or whatever else may come out in the bathroom, I gotta choose myself. So I choose myself, and I do it unapologetically, and that does a lot for me mentally, even though it seems like a small thing, right? It seems like a small thing, go to the bathroom when you need, but an aspect of driving and delivery jobs that I think a lot of people who haven't done it don't understand is you're under a lot of pressure to hit windows, and especially driving all day. It's not like you just work in an office and you have a bathroom you can just get up and go to, right? You're on the road. Any pull off of the road, any stop adds time to the route, adds time to the day, gets you to your stops later. So it's kind of a big deal. But I make it not a big deal by just choosing me, So that's another thing I've been employing recently. It's just the small little things like that, in my opinion, that really add up and make a difference. So
it's really it's about boundaries, like the same thing can be applied to like office gigs, right? Like you're done at like 5:36. Stop looking at your email at like 10 p.m.
Yeah.
There's no reason to be looking at your email that late. It can wait until the next day.
Yeah, it's at its core, it is just kind of setting boundaries. I like that as well. So that's something I've been working on doing and continue to do. Another small one that I do every morning on my drive into work, I have about a 30-minute commute. I listen to affirmations, positive affirmations, life affirmations, and I've been listening to these affirmations probably for about 2 years straight now, and I think they make a difference as far as like mindset and mentality. It's just, personal affirmations talking about things like, I am in control of my destiny, you know what I mean? Like, I always have enough time to do what I need to do. Just those sorts of things that influence your mindset. I've noticed my life change, improve for the better in the past few years since I've been listening to them. So that definitely, I think, helps me get through the day a little bit there. So affirmations. So that's 3 things I've been doing recently. And then fourth little one that's pretty general is doing things for no other purpose than just to improve my mood, increase the vibes. A good example of that is lighting incense in the house. Doesn't normally smell bad or anything, but lighting incense is just kind of a vibe. You got the little smoke furling into the atmosphere, and you got the good smell, and it just increases the overall mood of the room and of me. So it's just doing little things like that are seemingly inconsequential, but actually make a difference when they all come together in harmony.
Well, yeah, of course incense is a good thing because, you light the incense and then all the smoke fills the room and there's less oxygen, so you start to asphyxiate.
Yeah.
So, you're like, wow, this is pretty good as you're like half falling over.
Yeah. Interestingly, so we just do the little incense sticks here, so it's not a ton of smoke, but I have seen... when I used to work a job that would have me inside people's houses quite often, and people would do similar, but they have like machines that like shoot out vapor, and it would literally be hazy throughout their entire house from these little vaporizers they would use. Smelled really good, but I don't know how they lived like that full time.
There's gotta be brain damage.
There's gotta be. Vapor at least is better than smoke, but still. It had to be hard to breathe in there.
Yeah, no doubt. They're like, wow, man, the humidity's really low. I need like 90%.
Literally, it was like a humidity increaser or something. I don't know.
Like a humidifier.
Yeah, basically. They have like the dehumidifier right next to the vaporizer. It's weird. Anyway, that's what I've been doing recently. I have other stuff to talk about, but we'll get to that. Darren, what have you been doing recently? Within the past, I guess, like 6 months, what have you been doing for yourself?
I've been on a quest to find what my self-care is, right? Like, I've been thinking, like, big picture, like, sure, there's like little things you can do, you know. Admittedly, I would say like, and this is something I need to do more of, but the weather in Ohio is a little bit persnickety. I like hiking.
Mm-hmm.
Hiking, I feel like, is just transformative in many ways. I mean, you know, originally you go into it thinking like, oh, I'm gonna listen to music, and you know, that's fine, but like then the other people on the trail, like, you can't interact with them, and you're not there to interact, but like you just need like that head nod or that like, hey, you know, it's like a weird little boost. And so you're going through nature, and you just feel the urge to take out your phone, but that starts to subside after like maybe 20-25 minutes, and it almost feels like you're like ripping a cable out of your head. We're just so plugged into our phones at all times. It's nice to have somewhere where it's like, I don't need to be looking at my phone, you know. So like you're getting the exercise, you're looking around, you know, you're looking at all the green space, and it's different every time. It's not the same thing, you know, not like a treadmill where it's, you know, you're there for an activity. You can go at your own pace. I mean, hiking is quality.
It is quality. I would have to agree. Obviously, you know, I'm been big into hiking.
Yeah.
And I do want to comment real quick. It is interesting. Hiking is one of the few places that I've visited where people are incredibly social, which is funny because it's not really a social activity. But I would say like at least 8 or 9 out of 10 of the people you pass are going to say like hello or how you doing or like make eye contact and nod with you, which when you're out in public with strangers doesn't really happen that often. But on hiking trails, it does. It's like a community.
Yeah, it's a bit of the trail etiquette, right?
Yeah.
Like, you almost feel guilty with headphones in unless you're, like, going, you know, full in, like, trail running kind of thing, because it's like, oh, well, I can't interact with them. And it's not even, like, a bad way. It's just, yeah, people are oddly friendly on the trails. So, I mean, that's got to be, like, the big one I would like to get back more to. But things I've tried... massage, right? I was like, okay, that's got to be like the quintessential one. So, you know, I found a place that's well rated. I think it was like 4.7 stars, like something like 100 reviews. So reputable. In fact, they're like next to a law office and everything. I'm like, it literally can't get any better than this. Not very good.
Or maybe they're next to the law office because they need their services.
Maybe. I mean, so don't get me wrong. It was a good place. Okay. I'm sure there's people that, you know, are happy with, you know, like the massages that are provided, but the pressure was just too much. She was like, okay, do you want like soft, medium? And I'm like, okay, well, let's go medium because like soft is probably not going to do anything. And I feel like usually when you go to these places, they're like, hey, what are your like trouble areas? She just did everything. And then much like I'm sure I'll catch flag for this, much like chiropractors, I feel like you have to keep going back because they've like almost injured you in a way to where you need to go back to continue to like get relief from that. I think I've personally gotten over it, but I swear my neck had a different crick than I went in with, so
that's an interesting take. Massage therapists are like chiropractors.
I don't think all of them are, but I think that in this scenario, I was like, man, the discs in my spine are sitting a little funky. Yeah. So I had done massage like legit like a decade ago, and I thought it was good, but I don't know. It's just. I feel like I try it again for sure, but that definitely does not inspire me. I don't think I left any less stressed. So I've got some other interesting ones though, now that I think about it. I had 2 thoughts coming into this on ones that I did, and you know, more have cropped up as I've thought about it. I did what is it called? I think they call it like temperature therapy.
Temperature
Have
therapy?
You heard of it?
Are you I mean, the first thing that comes to mind is like cold plunges.
I mean, that's basically what it is, but it's slightly different. So
okay.
you get this room for like an hour, and they're like, okay, just go crazy. So I there's no like specific time frames, but the correct order of operations is you sit in the sauna. So let's say you sit in the sauna for like maybe like 15 minutes, like hot sauna. The goal is to sweat, and then you go over to their, I don't know if it's like vitamin C or vitamin K. I think it's a vitamin K shower, and you like, you know, rinse off all the sweat and everything, kind of like bring your temperature back a little bit more towards normal, and then you do the cold plunge for, I mean, as long as you can tolerate, really, like maybe up to 5 minutes.
Yeah.
I had never done a cold plunge before, so it was completely new to me. First time I got in, I think I got out after like half a minute.
Yeah, I've never done one either. It seems intense.
Yeah. So I did another cycle, right? Because that was like maybe 25, 28 minutes. And then I did the second cycle. And then the second time I sat in there for 5 minutes. So the key to a cold plunge is you have to understand that it is not going to be pleasant at first, but you have to control your breathing, because you almost have like shallow breathing, like smaller breaths. And you need to actively focus on your breathing to ensure you're getting deep, full breaths. And as you start to sit in there, you're like, okay, this is fine. But then maybe you like shift a little bit. It's cold. It's awful again. So, wow. Yeah, I can't remember what the actual name of the therapy is called, but I did that, and I was like, okay, you know, I do feel good, but honestly, my knees hurt for like 3 days after. I think from the cold.
Wow, interesting.
Yeah, so, I mean, I'd maybe try it again, but it doesn't feel fun. It doesn't feel, like, therapeutic to go through that. I think it's supposed to help with healing for, like, sports injuries and whatnot, people that are, like, more athletic. But I kind of took it as, like, a quiet space for a little bit of time. Gotcha.
Yeah, like I said, I've never done a cold plunge. I don't know the science behind it either. I have heard that's mostly for, like, recovery. That's interesting though, that your knees hurt afterwards. I guess just something your body's not used to, you know.
Yeah, but for like 3 days after, I just
the thing I'm really interested about is, you said it was like some sort of vitamin shower. So is your skin absorbing this vitamin? Is that what's happening, or do you have any more info on that?
I will tell you anecdotally, and I don't know if it was the fact that I was sweating from the sauna and then like plugging it back up with like the vitamin K or what, or if it was just the vitamin K or just the sweat. My skin was incredibly soft, like for like a solid like 4 or 5 days after.
Okay, I like that.
Right? I don't think you even need to do the cold plunge. I mean, hypothetically, you could just go there for the sauna.
And the vitamin K shower after.
Yeah. I was even considering while I was like sitting in the sauna, because I mean, you know, being left alone with your own thoughts, you know, is different in nature as opposed to being in a box that's like maybe like 6x4. I was like, okay, maybe I could do this like before work, you know, I could like do the sauna, cold plunge, shower, and then just go to work kind of thing, you know. I probably won't be back. I'd maybe try it again, but what a unique experience.
Yeah, that sounds... that scares me a little bit. I read online a while ago, and I might even be misremembering, but it's something about like a lot of people end up having like strokes and stuff like that in the shower because of the quick temperature change. Like they'll be cold or something, and then they'll go straight into a hot shower, straight onto their head and stuff, and like that quick change will trigger something. But the vitamin K shower in between to bring your temperature back to normal seems like the key ingredient there. Can you imagine going straight from a sauna into a cold plunge, though? That would have to, like, send you into shock or something.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, I think it's, like, two-pronged, right? They're like, we don't want you to be sweaty and disgusting whenever you get into the cold plunge, because, like, other people have to use this. But also, at the same time, like, maybe don't die. That's their policy. They're like, yeah, just maybe don't.
Yeah, maybe don't die. Was the shower required to get in the cold plunge after the sauna?
Yeah, they said like you at least need to rinse off. I mean, okay. I personally I took like maybe like a 5 to 6 minute shower, and what I did was it has like a temperature like you can control the temperature on the shower. I would start like close to where it was in the sauna, and then I would slowly work myself down, so that way it's like, oh, you know, I'm gonna be cold here, then I'm gonna get into the cold. So I felt like that kind of helped as well.
Okay, very cool. Yeah, I've never done any of that, man. I've never gotten a professional massage, cold plunge. Obviously, I've done like saunas at gyms and things, but your experience sounds a little different than that. So definitely something I want to experience at least once in my life, you know?
For sure. For sure. I'm doing the homework, but I've got a bombshell to finish out, if you're ready for it.
Oh, I've been ready. What do we got?
I think you and I talked about this, but it was prior. So in my quest to find, self-care and something that I could maybe like routinely do, I was like, I'm just going through, I'm like scrolling through social media. Of course I get got by an ad, They've been listening to me. They already know that's what I'm trying to do. So everyone's got to get their piece of the pie. And so I did a pedicure.
Oh, you finally did it? Okay,
yeah,
we talked about that you wanted to.
Straight up, there was 2 hours of a workday that I didn't feel like it. And so I did plan it. It wasn't unplanned, but I planned 2 hours of a workday, and I'm like, I'm just going to go get a pedicure. And not like, audience, you're probably thinking of like, color and whatnot. There's this line called Hammer and Nails. They came off Shark Tank, I think, in like 2019, and they specialize in like guys grooming. They do haircuts. I have not heard positive things from the haircuts, but they do like facials, manicure, pedicure kind of thing. And I'm like, well, this kind of feels almost like borderline taboo, but I know some athletes have done pedicures. So I was like, okay, let's see what's going on. I would do it again. I don't know if it's self-care, but it feels good to take care of yourself.
It 100%
You know what I mean?
is self-care, dude. Booking yourself
Yeah.
a pedicure. Yeah, no judgment at all for me. It's actually something that I want to do as well. Yeah, I've gotten a haircut from that chain, and it was something I was considering as well, doing the pedicure or even a manicure. And it's interesting because it is a little taboo, but it shouldn't be, right? Because like you said, it's not about going and getting your nails colored. Like, nobody's painting anybody's nails. It's just, I mean, you could probably,
nails.
yeah, you could probably tell me what they do better than I would actually know, because I've not gotten it done. But it's just, maintenance. Trimming, getting yourself clean and cut and proper. So it's definitely something I've thought about doing as well. So you just got the pedicure, no manicure?
Yeah, so actually, the way that they operate is they do like a membership model, where you've got like the class, which you probably know as well because you've done it. They've got like the classic, the VIP, and then the luxe. We're talking like deluxe, need to pay out the bottom. So
And that thing's like 200 plus a month.
oh no, it's like 400.
Oh, even more. I just knew it was a lot. Yeah.
The VIP I think is 169. The classic, I want to say it's like 70 maybe. It's not horrible because you get two services, right? Like, hypothetically, if you were to get like a haircut and like a manicure or pedicure or like a beard groom, 70 is not bad. Not bad at all.
For high end, yeah, not bad at all for those things.
Yeah. So you bump into like the VIP, and then they do like cuter stuff, right? They do like wax with like the manicure, pedicure kind of thing. This is where it gets interesting though. On Tuesdays, they bump classic clients up to VIP treatments. And on Wednesday, they bump VIP clients to luxe treatments. So I set aside some self-care funds, and then I'm going to go in on Wednesdays, and I'm going to do like manicure, pedicure, facial on like 3 separate occasions on Wednesdays to make the most of it. So I'm curious to see how it all goes, because I'm like, a pedicure went pretty well. I feel like I could do that again. So like, let me bouge it up for a month.
There we go. Yeah, that's great. I'm glad you're doing that. I do want you to kind of walk me through the pedicure. So I've been to at least one of the locations, so I know how it's set up, right? Walk me through the process. Obviously, they had you sit down in the chair. Did you soak your feet? What did they do exactly? Because just for me, I'm a planner. I like to know what to expect, and if this is something I end up doing, having like it described to me will maybe make me feel more comfortable with going.
You want to go get a pedicure together?
Together?
So
that might
check
cross
this
a
out
line.
though. Check this out though. They've got like TVs right up above.
Yeah.
And you know what's dope about that? Think about this. You could get a pedicure while watching a football game. That to me feels kind of classy.
Do the Colts play the Steelers this season? Because if they do, sports stars are a little overrated. We're gonna go get mani-pedis.
Oh yeah, and then of course I guess I forgot the most important part. They'll bring you. I mean, they can do cocktails too, but they'll bring you a whiskey each time.
Yeah, they have liquor license.
Mm-hmm. And one of the locations also has a beer license.
Wow.
The one that's near us has a beer license. I'm not a big cigar guy, but they also have a cigar like patio. So they pretty bouge.
It's very upscale. Yeah, it's a good experience.
I mean, some of the treatments, literally they'll pour beer in the water where you like soak your feet for the pedicure. They do one with
that's
whiskey
a little
too.
stupid, dude. What the hell?
Yeah. But so you go in, you kind of like soak the feet in like warm water, and then they like just like work on like calluses and whatnot, and then like clean up the nails, and they'll like buff the nails. Like I wouldn't know this until after it happened, but like the texture on your nail probably feels like a little bumpy. Them buffing it like makes it very smooth and nice. Like you wouldn't realize how nice it could be until after. And then the feeling after it kind of feels like you're like walking on clouds. But they'll
interesting
to like help with the calluses too. If you get, I did like a first timer thing where they upgrade you to like the VIP, and they give you like wax to put on the foot, and they'll do everything, of course, but really nice and smells like peaches.
Okay,
their words, not mine.
Okay, so I'm on the website actually because I'm too curious about this. You're like
you're bought in.
It was already something that I wanted to do in the past, and then I had a financial situation change, but we're back in a good space, so I think I could afford to go do this. Actually, did you get the classic or the premium pedicure?
So I did like a first timer one, which I think technically counts as the premium. But that's why my game plan is to go VIP, and then if you go in on Wednesdays, you get the Lux.
Okay.
Right? So it's like you get more for what you're actually paying. So you could technically do a classic and get a premium on a Tuesday.
Okay.
Yeah, right? So it's like, make your money work for you kind of thing.
Yeah, I'm just reading on their website. They do some yeah, I'm looking. They have the Jackhammer experience, which is a premium manicure and pedicure combo that is whiskey infused. Whatever that.
Yeah.
But then they also have hops and cedar. They have some peppermint.
That's the one I was talking about.
They have milk and honey, which is coconut milk. Man. So did they give you the foot massage as well while they were down there?
I don't remember.
Oh, you were just in bliss, huh? Okay.
It must have been. Well, I didn't get a drink either because I was like, I need to go back to work. But next time I'm going, I'm like, let's get a nice whiskey, you know?
Dang, now I want a mani-pedi. So you said you feel like you're walking on clouds. Do you since then, do you look at your feet sometimes? You're like, man, those are looking good. Was it a big difference visually, or is it more just about feeling?
Yeah, I mean, a little bit of both, actually. I would say, visually, much better. Yeah.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
Good for the dogs.
Okay.
I actually asked, too, because I was like, you guys do color? And she's like, no, we don't do color. I'm like, okay.
Okay. Dang, they don't even offer it. They should. Why not?
No. She was telling me, some of the Lux clients will bring in some of their own and we'll put it on. And I'm like, okay.
I'm seeing on their website they do waxes as well. Eyebrows, nose, or ears. That's interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, they do.
I could do it with with an ear wax. Maybe. I don't know. I want to do this now. I hadn't thought about this in a while.
You're bought in. Listen, let me tell you, audience. Hashtag not sponsored. I have no skin in the game on this. I just went there once. I felt like it was a pretty okay situation. I feel like their membership pricing is pretty straightforward. That said, let me hit you with a caveat, both you and audience. I have been told at some locations what happens is there's 0 issues with canceling your membership, but it'll randomly reactivate after like 3 to 4 months, and then they get a little bit weird about it. So, yeah, just as a forewarning.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd even do the membership, to be honest.
You have. Well, yeah, you would want to.
For price reasons, right? Yeah, you definitely would want to.
I mean, straight up, I'm probably going to do my month, cancel, and then I'm probably just going to get a new card.
Oh my
straight up.
Gaming the system.
I'm like, I don't want any part of what they're bringing to the table. Like, if they're straight up, no issues. If they have an issue with it, it's not going to be an issue for me, you know?
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah. That's cool, though. Glad you shared. Definitely puts me a little more at ease for my future. Oh, did they do any kind of polish? Like a gel polish? Or did they just did the cleaning and the buffing and the cutting and stuff? They didn't put anything on there?
No, well, they had like maybe like some type of like serum they put on there, but it wasn't like a polish or anything. It was just like buffing with like a little bit of like this serum. I don't know what it was. I didn't ask. But
gotcha. All right. Well, that was fun. Any other things you've been doing recently, or that you said that was your last one, I believe, as far as self-care goes, right?
Yeah, I mean, that was like one of the like big heavy hitters. I was like trying all these different things. I mean, I think your methodology is probably one of the better ones, like, you know, focus on the small things. I mean,
yeah,
you probably don't get the same joy as someone who, you know, drives all the time, but I do appreciate on occasion my work commute, because, you know, I can just kind of like sit in the car and belt lyrics. So, I mean, there is something to be said about that autopilot moment where I can just sing.
Yeah, it definitely is different when you're driving all day, because that's just my entire day. But I will say I've worked jobs where I wasn't driving all day, and the commute is definitely, I mean, before work it's like a preparation period. After work it's like a de-stressor, like a decompressor, you know. And if you have that nice little 20-30 minute drive, that's plenty of time. Whereas if you have a shorter drive, 5-10 minutes, you don't really get that decompression time as much, you know. So that's that.
Yeah, which is weird to say, because it's during like rush hour too, right? But like,
yeah.
Whatever.
Well, you're just alone, you know. No expectations. Your only task is to just drive home, so you can kind of zone out a little bit. But
plus, like for me, there's like maybe 4 or 5 different ways I can go home, and they're all within like maybe a 5 to 10 minute range in terms of like arrival. So like, oh, you know, maybe I don't want to take the highway. You know, I can take a way that's got like a little bit more stoplights. That's okay.
Take the scenic route, as they say.
That's the one.
Okay. All right. Well, that's what we've been doing recently. I thought it'd be fun to sort of end the episode off on what we would like to be doing. Like maybe things we've done in the past that we'd like to get back to, or maybe, you know, me, I have things sort of in the back of my head. I'm like, oh, that'd be fun to do. That'd be good for me. But I haven't made any moves to actually do it. Does anything come to mind for you in that vein, or do you want me to go first with my ideas here?
I mean, we don't need your answer because we already know it's a pedicure.
Well, yeah, that's a given. And that wasn't even on my list, but it's like number 2 or 3 on there now. So,
dang. You know, off rip, I would have to say, the reason why I originally bought a Nintendo Switch was from like a fitness perspective, is how I justified it, so I could like play games on it too. So, you know, I've got boxing on that. I'd like to get more back into the boxing. I wouldn't mind finally like biting in on a treadmill to run, which sounds hilarious after digging on it earlier. But, you know, there's something to be said about the convenience. You know, maybe like play games while you're using it.
Yeah.
But I would have to say, yeah, like maybe the boxing, because it's convenient, it's something easy to do. But sounds like you had something in mind that you wanted to get back to.
I had a few things, yeah. I mainly wanted to share on this episode something that is on my mind quite often, and it's the feeling of chasing a feeling, right? There was a time in my life that I ended up feeling so peaceful and euphoric, and it was such a great feeling that I have not felt since, even when I do similar things. And there's a couple different aspects to it, but I'm not sure how to get back there, right? And so I'm just going to briefly describe this time. This was like at the very beginning of COVID. I got let go from my job at the time, so I was unemployed. I spent probably the first month of unemployment just kind of gaming a lot, not really leaving the house, ordering DoorDash, things like that. Really unhealthy things to be doing all day, every day. But it was what I was doing, it's the truth. So, after a month of that, I kind of got tired of it, and this is when my hiking journey started. This was, I'd been hiking a few times before in my life, obviously, but this was when it really started, and I ended up going 3 to 5 times a week, every week for an entire summer. And it all started with just being unemployed and bored, and didn't have a lot of experience with the metro parks here in the city or anything like that, but there was a really good one right near me, and then I started exploring and driving to all the different ones, and I don't know if this feeling in my life from that period of my life where I was hiking is from just the novelty of trying new things, or if because these activities really click with my soul. But I will say, exploring and hiking new trails is an amazing feeling, and it's something I'd like to get back to. The hard part is I've explored a lot of them already around the city, so it's kind of just like revisiting places. But that's no excuse. Hiking, like you were saying earlier, hiking is great for you, mentally and physically. And it's something I've struggled with this summer. I don't know if it's because we've been in this like heat wave for months, or if I'm just lazy. But definitely something I'd like to get back to. But then also during that period, I started off with hiking, and I ended up doing so many different things for myself. I got into meditation for the first time in my life. I was trying Delta 8 THC for the first time. What else was I doing around that time? I wasn't in therapy then, but I was just trying a bunch of new, different things with the intent of being healthy mentally. And maybe it's because it was all new at the time that it felt euphoric, but I've been chasing that feeling since then, and I don't know how to find it. And so, I know you said we're not going to get deep, but I feel like this is a little deep. It's like, what do I do now to get that feeling back? Because at some point you kind of run out of new things to try. I've done yoga, I've done meditation, hiking, therapy, different substances, different supplements, and I've tried it all. And yeah, a lot of it works. I feel very at peace. I like my life now. But how do I get back to that feeling of, wow, this is all so amazing? Like, you know what I'm saying? Have you ever had any periods of your life like that, where maybe you were going through like a period of transformation or trying new things, and maybe it's just nostalgia, I don't know what it is, but yeah, there's got to be at least some period in your life where you like look back on and be like, man, I wish I could like recapture that feeling.
Nope. I'm just
kidding. Nope.
Nope.
Now you know what I mean.
I took a class in college actually that had me hiking a minimum of 2 hours a week, and I don't know if I would consider it like transformative per se, but like that's the best my mood has been in a very long time, and it like helped me learn a lot about myself. So I mean, maybe, I guess you could see it as transformative in that way, I guess, but I mean, I think you're onto something with the hiking. I feel like even if you go to old trails, maybe do them backwards, different muscle memory. I mean, the trails are different every time.
Yeah, and the people there are different every time. You're so right.
Yeah, especially different times of the day, where it's like I would have like random hours, and I would go at like 1 p.m. and there would be like all these like old people and then maybe some people that were like walking for a meeting or something, and I'm like, what's going on? And then you walk at like 6 p.m. and there's all these people that are like the 9 to 5s. There's very unique. It's not like the mall in terms of people watching, but it's definitely a lot of variety.
Yeah, I will say there's something to be said for hiking at like 10 a.m. on a Sunday. I'm not big on people in general. I'm not big on crowds. But being out there on the trails on a Sunday morning, sun shining, and you just have all these people out there walking the trails, talking, chatting, families, friends, there's something to be said about that feeling. Wouldn't you agree? We've done that together. Sunday morning.
It's the same goal for everyone. Like, you may be there for exercise, you may be there to like socialize, you may be there just to get out. The overarching theme though is everyone is there to enjoy the trails in one way or another.
It's almost like you go on vacation and you're like stay at a resort or something and everybody else is also on vacation. It's just a different energy. It's like everybody's just there to chill, relax. It's like no worries. You're kind of just on the same page with all these strangers. It's interesting.
Yeah, you get it. It's like a hive mind, but like not in a negative way.
No, not at all. It's all for a positive goal.
But we talked about a lot of positive goals today, didn't we?
That we did. It was a good episode.
We talked about hiking, of course. Hiking was a big emphasis. You touched on a really important point about, it's the little things in life, focus on improving what you can and, focus on yourself. And really the moral of the story is try a pedicure.
And maybe a manicure, right?
And maybe a manicure, right? What's more manly than a manicure?
It's literally in the name.
So
right.
You gotta, so that's gonna bring us to the end of the episode.
Aww. It went so fast.
So it did. Let me just throw it on over to you, Troy.
Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. So that is the end of the episode. Make sure you subscribe to us, our podcast. Follow us on socials. We are at Sips and Side Quests on most platforms. The only one we're not is Instagram. At Sips and Side Quest Pod, We're going to go ahead and notify you on there when our next release lands. I think we've been slacking on the post recently, but that's okay. We're going to catch up. We're going to make the post. You're going to, follow us, and you'll find out when something drops. Leave a comment for us. Nobody's done that yet. The crown, the trophy for being first commenter ever on SSQ, still up for grabs. Somebody take that, please. Drop a like also. You'll get some easy experience points from that. But anyway, this has been Troy.
And this has been Darren. Thanks again for tuning in. We will see you right back here next time, which is not every Thursday, every other Thursday. Bi-weekly Thursday releases.
Thursdays.
Yeah, that's right. For yet another adventurino. We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.